I want to go back to all this controversy about Jimbo Fisher, and we've all seen it. You've written about it; others have as well. Is he to blame for some of this? Not what's happened the last 2 years, but how bad a shape did he leave this program?
Well, I mean, pretty bad. I mean, not just on the field, but obviously discipline issues. Florida State was dead last in all of college football and their APR, their graduation rate, all of that. So, academics certainly weren't important. Willie Taggart tried to get that cleaned up. On the field, Jimbo Fisher was 5-6 his last year at Florida State before he bolted for Texas A&M. Everybody knows that. He was 14-10 in his last 3 years, and even though the recruiting rankings say that Jimbo Fisher, recruited great at Florida State, you certainly didn't see it on the field either his last season or in Willie Taggart's year and a half that he was on the job. Florida State's offensive line is a mess. Jimbo didn't even recruit any offensive linemen. So yes, Jimbo Fisher is partly to blame, and I think it's interesting that right before the season, Bleacher Report did a big story, and they talked to David Coburn, the AD at Florida State.
Oh yeah.
And they essentially heaped all the blame on Jimbo Fisher for the state of FSU's program, and here we are. What is it, 2-3 months later, and they're firing Willie Taggart. So, again, it just goes to show that Florida State's program, to me, they don't know what they're doing up there.
They have some company in college football, Mike.
Yes.
No names needed.
$18 million, Paul. $18 million Willie Taggart is going to make, not the coach. I think that's about half of, UCF's entire football budget.
Wow. Always great to UCF. How are they doing, by the way?
Well, Paul, they're out of the limelight now. They've lost a couple games, but they're still a solid.
You have to admit, Mike, and they had the party last year, as you know, in Orlando, but it probably had to be tough for them to watch Memphis, Beale Street on Saturday and Liberty Bowl Stadium on Saturday night.
Paul, you're right. I will say this, Paul. If, and it's, obviously it's academic now, if UCF had run the table this year, I think guys like you would have been on their bandwagon.
No, listen, I was ready to go, but unfortunately, no hard feelings toward the program. I was coming down there last year, even if they'd beaten LSU for the parade.
Paul, it's always a pleasure.
Thank you, Mike. Come back soon. Mike Bianchi, we intended to talk about him. Talking about how Dan Mullen was about to take over for Kirby Smart, but we got sidetracked with Willie Taggart. We'll take a break. More to come.